Recently I decided to put a humbucker in the neck position of my pine barncaster. You've seen this guitar before on my channel. I did a whole series of how I put it together. The humbucker I put in is actually one of our filter Billy pickups. And this is actually a pick guard that we designed kind of a Keith Richards style. It was soon after I did this that I realized that the filter Billy was a little muddy. It was a little muffled, which kind of threw me off a little bit. It was soon after that I came to the realization that I changed out the pickup from a Fender single coil neck position to a humbucker, but I didn't do anything with the wiring. This wiring is for a traditional 2 single coil Tele, and the volume pot is a regular 250K volume pot, which is great for a single coil pickup because it attenuates the high frequencies, or it rolls off the high frequencies, and it makes it less bright and harsh. But when you pair a 250K pot with a humbucker, it still is going to roll off those high frequencies, and that's where that muddiness comes from. So I kind of thought, since I made this mistake, somebody else probably has too. From here we can look at a few options as to what to do. This is where it comes in handy owning a guitar parts business. One excellent option you have is the Fender dual 500K, 250K split shaft stacked pot. And these are great because it has a 500K on top and a 250K on bottom. So in a traditional Telecaster wiring, you're going to have one volume and one tone control. This way you can stack both volumes for both pickups on top of each other. And then you have the 500K on top for the humbucker and the 250K on bottom for the single coil. If you're like me, you don't really use your tone circuit. So I opted to give both pickups just their own volume control and leave the tone out altogether. I used a 1 meg for the humbucker and a mini 250K for the single coil. The reason I chose to do it this way is that the control cavity on that guitar is very deep and very tough to deal with. It's always an advantage to have a dime-sized mini pot. And I use the 250K, like I said, for the single coil, so we can still attenuate those high frequencies and that pickup will still sound great. Anymore, when I wire a humbucker, I like to use these 1 meg pots. Basically, these 1 megs make it so there's just virtually nothing in between your pickup and the input jack. You hear the pickup just clear as day, the way that it was meant to be. There's virtually no attenuating of high frequencies or anything like that. If you have a muddy pickup, something that sounds woofy, or if it just sounds weird, this is a great way to fix it and make it sound better. If you've got a vintage pickup, this is a great way to make it sound better. For this configuration, look on the Seymour Duncan website for wiring diagrams, and they'll show you a wiring diagram where you can do 2 volumes on a Telecaster. It's great. I mean, you can dial in pretty much any wiring configuration that you want. So that pretty much fixed the problem for this guitar, which is good because I've got a 4-hour gig this Saturday where I'm going to be using this. I love this pickup configuration probably more than any other. You get a sound with a Filtertron style and a single coil in a Tele that you just don't get anywhere else. It's that middle position using them both. It is so cool. So we sell these filter Billy pickups, both neck and bridge position, on our website, thompsonguitarandthrift.com. We also sell these Keith pick guards. We had these made special. Links below in the description. Alright, so let's see how this sounds. Alright, so here's the filter belly in the neck position of my Pine Barncaster. We're going through a 70s Fender Champ. Let's see how this sounds. And here's just the neck by itself. Here's the filter belly along with the single coil in the bridge position, both of them together. This is a Fender, I think 52 Tele special, if I remember right.